The water's so clear. It makes it does make a difference, but it makes not as much difference as you think. You're fishing into the fish's blind spot. So when you're walking up behind it, it can't see you. You know, it's like when you're casting behind it, it can't see you, and that's the whole point. If you were standing in front of it, it'd see you a mile off. You know, but so it's all about fishing upstream. So like fish downstream, fishing for sea trout, salmon, stuff like that. You know, but on a long line. But if you're fishing dry fly nymph for trout, grayling, always upstream and no drag. You need to see it. Depending on the trees behind you, depending on the undergrowth and that as well, you need to figure out what angle that you can cast it. So it's like, it's all very well you being able to cast above your head, like that sort of thing, you know. It was like, but if you can't, that might not be sufficient. There might be pools where it's like there's bushes or whatever behind you, and you need to like be able to like cast like 3-4 inches above the water, like just hovering it above the water. Do that a lot in the esk. But that takes a lot of practice. That's something that I don't even like. It's one of these things. It's like playing an instrument. It's like you don't even really know how you've managed to do it, you know. And it's 10,000 hours. That was a stunning pull. It was just really, really difficult to fish. That was harder than I fished the esk, the Dalkeith country part, the Dukes, basically as it's known. I've fished in there since I was about 8 or 9 year old, and the muscle were a stretch as well. But there's a part up there, up into the Dukes, up into just before you get into the Dalkeith Country Park sort of part of the estate, where the two rivers join, and it causes the same sort of, you get these big eddies and backwaters currents, because you've got this water coming in for this side, you've got this water coming in for this side, you know, and it causes all these currents that make it really difficult to fish. But I can guarantee that pool there was three rivers coming into that one pool. And it was like you're trying to keep the line straight and keep the fly in front of you, and it's like the next thing the fly's like 4 feet behind you, you know. It's just, the line's still in front of you, the fly's behind you, and it's like, well, you know, or you cast into what you think has got to give you quite a good wee drift, and the next thing it just starts swimming into the side, you know. It was really hard to, that was a really difficult one. Oh, it's like, that's where I think that rod that I'm using there is probably a bit too light for a river like that. But at the same time, it's like, sometimes that lightness can be to your benefit, you know. Sometimes it can be like, that's why you because you're being that like delicate in the water, that's why you've got that fish, instead of the heavier the rod, the more you sort of thrash the water, you know. And it's the heavier the line. I always use a double taper line as well. Never use weight forward lines. I've never liked them, and I've always used double tapers. I'm changing the fly. This is it. I normally fish, when I'm fishing the nymph, I normally fish two. I fish one on the tail and one on the dropper, about maybe 3 or 4 feet above the tail fly. The reason I do that is because you've got a weighted nymph, you'll get down, you'll hit the bottom, but about 3 or 4 foot above it, if there's anything feeding, you'll also hit them as well, you know. And the problem with the dry is you don't need 2 flies, you just need the one, so that dropper comes obsolete, so you end up cutting it off, and you end up just having the one dry But then you got to swap back to the nymph, and you're like, right, you need to set up a whole new leader, you know. You're basically just, I'll have one set up in this pocket, which is a tail and a dropper on your line, and then on the other pocket I'll have my dry fly one. So it's just, I'll swap swap off the main line, you know. But that river was fast, and that's probably why the trout and the grayling and that are so big in that river, because that river is fast. You know, there was, if I was to be doing the Esk, I would never really be stripping that hard, because the Esk like flows at a much slower rate, but that river's, yeah, definitely it's fast. It was easy, about 10 fish in that pool. It was like, I thought it was like, oh, there's 2 there. But then the more I looked at that pool, it was like, there's about 10 in that pool. There was just a shoaly grayling sitting feeding on the surface. Which is, to me, I've never seen that in any of the local rivers and that. It's the first time I've ever seen it. Never seen it on the Tweed either. It's also quite a hard pool to stop the fly for drifting. That's where you see me mending quite a lot. It's like, if you get in a pool where you're only getting a drift for, say, maybe, a drift for about maybe 2-3 feet, and then it's starting to drag, then you've got to mend it. It just means that you lift the rod and drag the line along a bit, and that gives you a wee bit more slack. That was the grayling on the dry. It's another credit to that river. The fight here is dead jagged, you know. Well, I bet you the midges could get right bad down there, like they were getting that way virgin on it.
Well pleased.
I'm still pretty certain that they grayling most of the time weren't feeding on the surface. Most of the time they were taking something just underneath the surface. But every now and again they would suck something off. Like, I'm never, still, that's the first for me. That's got a lot less black markings on it. That one too. That wasn't playing dead, that one.